Hello Libra, my name is Tanya and I'm going to be doing a month ahead tarot reading for you. I'm also going to pull an oracle card, and after I read it intuitively, I am going to read the full entry from the book that it came with. I've been enjoying the little stories in there, so I'm going to share the full experience with you. Now let's see what we have for Libra out of the tarot cards for the month of January. What is it that Libra needs to know for January? Okay, we have the Magician, the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, wow, the Two of Chalices, and the Moon. Wow, okay. I'm just seeing like a bookend here. All right, I'm going to take a look at all of these, see what comes up for the overall, and then we'll get into each card. There's a lot of power, like big moves, power moves happening. Inspired action, just complete another confidence in what you're doing or the people that you're working with, and making stuff happen. But there will be a need at the end of the month to reflect and look back, and there might be something hidden from you or that you've been trying to avoid that may bubble up to the surface at the end of the month. But to start out with, you have created something or started something that's like a power move. It's just the one that's what keeps pushing forward. Power move. Okay, let's get into each card. So we're starting out here with the Magician. This is the first card in the Major Arcana. It's the first person the Fool meets on their journey. They have all of the tools, they have all of the knowledge, and they have the connections, as above, so below. And they know how to wield that power and create things. It's a card about manifesting with ease, with that ancient knowledge built within you. It feels like you're really connected to your heart and throat space. So it's almost like what you speak to comes through or comes out or creates some tangible result. So you may be in the process of physically creating something. It could be related but to a craft. Like if you're creating a quilt or working on a painting or building a house. Everything seems to be falling into place and it going very smoothly because it's what's meant to be, and it feels right to you too. It's like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing now, and that's why it's going so smoothly. And then we also have here the King of Pentacles. So Pentacles are about material things, and this is the king of it. It's a masculine energy, yes, but it's power, again, with the power. And here he's like balancing on his hands on top of the bull. So a very earthy element. Very grounded, even though he's not physically grounded at the moment. The King of Pentacles is also usually a pretty laid back, chill kind of vibe. Very confident. Confident in his finances and his role in what it is he wants to do. And he's got a long-term vision. So he's got a big forecast. He's already got the plans and stuff for the future. And he's just letting it unfold. He's letting his plans unfold as they will, as he knows that they will and should. And he may stop every once in a while and make some tweaks based on his observations, but he's not worried about it. He's got all the funds he needs. It's not a problem. So there's just this, again, with everything falling into place as you've planned. So the plan is coming to fruition. It's being manifested. And then we have the Ace of Swords, planted firmly in the ground. Interesting that that's what I've noticed here. So again, with that grounding energy, that confident, this is where it starts. Aces are about beginnings, initiation. Swords are about our thoughts and ideas and communication. So there was some very definite communication, like drawing a line in the sand is what wants to come through too. You've drawn the line in the sand. This is the boundary. You've communicated it. And this is what you're willing to do. But there's an inspiration there too. So you know what your limits are. And you're working within those limits. Interesting. With confidence though. And just that very grounded energy. So there are some limitations, but you've accepted them, you know what they are, and you're working within them. Successfully, very successfully, working within those limitations. So normally though, the Ace of Swords would not be about a limitation. So for some of you, that's clearly an intuitive message that came through. It's typically about an inspired idea. Maybe a new idea on how to work within that limitation, or a new idea on how to move another phase of the project forward. So you're inspired by something and you're willing to learn more about it, and you're ready to take it to the next step or the next level. So take whichever one resonates for you. But it also feels like that very firm stand in the ground, on the ground. You know where you're at, and you're confident about where you're starting from, your starting point is. Okay. And then we have the Two of Chalices. This is the equivalent of cups and about our emotions and intuition. And twos are about commitment and contracts. So this could be, for some, it does not feel like it, but it could be a potential new romantic relationship or a karmic type connection. But for me, this feels a little bit more business related or related to this thing that you're working on. So this could be a contractor or a partnership that you're setting up. And these people or the counterpart, you guys are on the same page. You have a lot of confidence in each other. The communication is excellent. You do want to make sure that you both fully understand both sides of the contract, consequences, all of that stuff. So crossing the T's and dotting the I's. But you're very confident about the outcome of this, about the success of this partnership. You believe in each other. On the same wavelength. And then again, going back to where it could be a romantic relationship or a new friendship or it's partnership, period. It's some type of partnership. And a connection that feels destined to be. Like this is who you should have been working with this whole time, kind of vibe. And then we have the Moon. This is also a major arcana card, and I'm fascinated by the fact that these are both so explicitly featuring the Moon. Even with the Magician here, the Moon is not typically there, not so obvious anyway, but it's so much a part of this manifestation you have going on. And that's usually tied to our emotions. So you are all in on this project, whatever it is. Very dedicated to it, emotionally connected to it. The Moon is about diving deep, though, into our shadows. There's something you're not seeing that's hidden during the day and you can only see it under the light of the moon or in the dark. There's that, what is it? I'm probably going to butcher this word, but that's phosphorus effect. Glow in the dark. There, we'll just use that generic term. Luminosity. The word luminosity wants to push through too. So there is something that you have been holding back or avoiding that is going to bubble up to the surface here at the end of this month. Something that you need to deal with, something from the past. You need to find closure from it and not from anybody else. It needs to be you finding closure on it. So if this is something that's involving another person that's just kind of on your thoughts and niggling at the edges of your consciousness during the day, and maybe you focus on it a lot at night when you're at home and not focused on this other project that you have going on. It's almost like you use this to drown out this in some cases. And you need to focus on it. You need to give it time. You need to examine it. Why do you feel that way? And you will never, in some cases, not all, but in some cases, you will never get closure from the other party or whoever else is involved in this situation. You need to close it out for yourself. You don't need to talk to them to do this. This is about your emotions and how you feel about it, how you react, and what's triggering you about it. Dig into that. Name it. Set it free. Release it. Forgive yourself. Forgive them. You don't have to tell them you forgive them. Forgive them and disconnect. Release that energy or cut that cord so you can reclaim your energy and move forward. Now let's see what we have on the bottom of the deck. The Four of Pentacles. So fours are about stability, our foundations, and pentacles can be about our home, it can be about money, it can be about work. And this Four of Pentacles is indicating maybe some concerns around the funds or around where the funds are going to come from. So there could be a potential complication or point of tension related to that piece. I feel like you're going to figure it out. And maybe that's what this partnership here helps address. You're confident that things are going to work out because we have this King of Pentacles energy, but there's still just that you want an extra cushion. You want a little extra cushion, a little extra protection to make sure that everything is covered for the future. So you may even readjust the budget based on new pricing of something. So there may be some savings in some area that you may be able to leverage, like a coupon or a sale or something, where you may be able, if you've already ordered, like if this is a house, if you've already ordered the windows, but now the manufacturer is having a New Year's sale, you may be able to call them and get that sale price applied and get a refund for some of the money that now you can use in another place. So think along those lines and look for those opportunities to help save or reallocate the budget. There we go, reallocate. Okay, let's see what kind of card we get from the Wandwood Oracle. Do we have a volunteer card? Kind of. No? Yeah? No? I think there's one over here that volunteered. Okay. Let's see what we have. Silence. Taking time. Really with this moon card is what it feels or it gets related to. spending time at the end of the day, I might have already said that, to give space for those emotions, for those memories to come up so that you can process them. Holding space for yourself in silence and just let it bubble up. Let it come forward. It wants to be heard. It wants to be acknowledged. And it wants to be set free. It's ready to go. We just need to be willing to give it the space to find freedom. And just sit with it and give it respect. And give yourself respect. And the time and the space to heal. Because you do deserve that, and you are worthy of that. And you're having so much success. This is a treat, would be something extra special to give your emotions, your soul. It's okay to let that stuff go. Okay, let's see what the book has to say about it. Now, this is told from the perspective of a magical hare that lives in Wandwood. So, first person. And these cards are not in any particular order. So, let me see if I can find the silence card. With all those little, I know they're little ghosties or witches, but it's almost like deflated thought bubbles sitting in the tree. They've released all that air, all that tension. There we go. And can relax. The coven tree. And the word silence. Okay. At the furthermost edge of Wandwood, where the woodland gives way to the hedgerows and gently rolling hills of Winchet Dale, stands one of its best loved trees, the coven tree, where Zorkly sprites gather every night to sit, silently contemplating amongst soft, flickering candlelight on its ancient branches. Now I appreciate it looks a bit intimidating. Indeed, it is hard not to get a case of the twizzles on first sight, but its fierce looks are simply to warn away those who might not respect the sacred silence it offers to creatures who come far and wide to seek it. For me, it is one of the most spectacular sights in the woods. Asleep during the day, the coven tree wakes up as the last of the setting sun gives way to night, opening the door in its trunk to allow a procession of black-hatted, Zorkly sprites out and up into its branches, where the earnest contemplation begins. At dawn, as the first shafts of sunlight break over distant hills, the procession silently descends as one, passing back through the doorway in a ritual enacted every day for longer than any woodland creature can remember. The door closes and the coven tree sleeps. Now we're here to discover secrets, and in such a tranquil place there doesn't seem to be any. At first sight, everything seems rather obvious. The ancient tree providing a spectacular sacred space to simply lose yourself in your own thoughts. Indeed, I defy anyone not to close your eyes and do the same. Such is the magical power of this tree and its attendant sprites. However, there is more going on here than first meets the eye. The longer you sit by the tree, the more you discover the spectacular pleasure of simply being in silence amongst others. Neither the sprites nor the tree will ever talk to you. No questions are asked, no answers sought after, and yet somehow there's a magical intimacy at work. The crumb-lush privilege of being absolutely at one in the silence with others. Other creatures will come and go, staying for as long as they need without a single nod or word being said. Yet, in a most magical way, everything has been said, the purest, simplest acknowledgement of being with one another in silence, truly connected in the one crumb-lush experience. And after, I returned to my cottage, filled with the experience and ready to tackle whatever fate and the day has in store for me, knowing the coven tree will always be there, waiting without judgment in the welcoming silence. Find your coven tree and know that sometimes simply being amongst others is enough. For even in silence, we are all connected on one magical journey. So I do feel that ties into both the moon and perhaps this Two of Chalices with this connection that you have. This may be someone that you just find that you're able to sit in a comfortable silence with. You don't have to be talking. There doesn't need to be anything going on. You're just holding space for each other in a very beautiful way. Please hit that like button and please hit subscribe and help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.